considerable merit. Jean Grolier, Viscount d'Aquisy, Treasurer General of the Duchy. Oh gosh, I'm butchering all these names. I always just kind of skip over these things because I'm like, why do I need to really be able to pronounce them? Friend of Francis I and ambassador to Pope Clement VII. Friend of Aldus, the great printer, was perhaps the most lavish patron of the art of binding and collecting books. To Grolier it's accorded the first place among all the great names in the book collecting history, and to him is owed the dignified standing in which book collecting is esteemed among the gentler arts. To Grolier also goes the honor for creating a most important and fundamental style to the decoration of book covers. In Grolier dispenser we find the names of many illustrious notables who have fostered and patronized the advancement of this art. John Baptiste Colbert, statesman and minister of finance under Louis XIV, was the founder of the Academy of Inscriptions, which concerned itself greatly with book decoration. Then there was Mazarin, Italian and French cardinal and statesman who founded one of the great libraries of the world, which bears his name. During the intervening years, there have been thousands of collectors who have patronized the art. In America, one thinks of such great names as Wellner, Morgan, Huntington, and Hay in the connection. Such affluent patronage has given aid to many different interpretations of beauty. Books have been handsomely bound in paper, in wood, in parchment, in cloth, and in fine leathers. They have been inlaid with materials of contrasting colors, hand-painted, encrusted with rare, valuable jewels. They have contained gorgeous end papers and fancy doublures. Men have spent years in the binding, tooling, and decoration of a single volume. These bibliophiles collected not only fine titles, bindings, and illustrations,